hauled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car.
What I don't understand is, why can't you give him belly rubs? Well, he should be tame enough now that you can give him belly rubs.
She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story. Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause. But the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid...
I did not realise this is how big they got. I didn't realise this is how big he's going to get.
Tons of blubber, and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance plan, dude.
Guys, you're going to have to make sure that you are feeding Neil all the fish that he wants, and just get him... He needs to be tamed so that you can pet him. I'm just absolutely loving for Neil the seal.
Can we all just stop?
Right, where are we? 1 second, give me a second. Wolfie, get ready to get in the box. I'll go play this one and then I'm going to need you. Right, this one's leading up to it, you say?
Pretending that CBeebies Bedtime Story is in any way aimed at kids.
Watch this one first.
We know exactly who that programme is for. You might as well at this point just have Channing Tatum reading Julia Donaldson's Superworm in character as Magic Mike. Superworm was very strong. Superworm was very long. Yeah, I bet he was, Channing. I saw an article the other day, top 3 episodes of CBeebies Bedtime Story. Number 3, Ryan Reynolds. Where are kids hearing about Ryan Reynolds? Now, I know he's a Hollywood A-lister, but he's not...
CBeebies, they didn't have all these A-listers doing the bedtime stories.
UK toddler scene. Number 2 on the list, Tom Hiddleston. I don't think there's a 3-year-old in this country that can even say that man's name, let alone recognise him on the television. Maybe it's a coincidence that 2 of the top 3 are just very conventionally attractive, charismatic, sexy men. Maybe number 1 will be...
Am I still out of sync for everybody? Am I just out of sync for Wolfie? Are we still out of sync? In the chat, let me know. Might just be you. I just don't know if we've got... Let's have a look who's in the booth. We're fine, that's all right. Might just be a glitch.
You're not even trying to hide it at this point, mums. Poor old Andy and Mr. Tumble, they're working themselves to the bone on CBeebies. They're on everything.
You're right in there, Wolfie.
But they can't get a look in when it comes to CBeebies Bedtime Story. And there'll be mums out there trying to defend it. They'll be going, oh no. It's nothing to do with them being very attractive men. No, the reason they're the top 3 is because they're Hollywood A-listers. They get all the best books, and our kids just love listening to them read their favourite stories. Okay then, mums. Just remind me then, what book was Tom Hardy reading? Sorry?
Wolfie, just scroll out and then scroll back in and then jump in the box.
What was Tom Hardy reading on the most popular CBeebies Bedtime Story? I can't hear you, mums. Yeah, I didn't think so. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Can we all just stop pretending?
Right, let's see if Wolfie's back in. Wolfie, you need to be back in. Right, are you ready? Let's see if she's in. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Right, here we go. Explain what's happening. Go away, this is your thing.
So, as we all know, Mummy Pig has decided that she has gotten pregnant. In my opinion, I don't think Daddy Pig is the dad. But she has gotten pregnant. She went on, what was it? Good Morning Britain?
Yeah, this is it. The volume's not very loud, that's why I wanted you to do the talk over.
And then
Mummy Pig pregnant.
Yeah, Mummy Pig's pregnant, and then look at Pepper trying to take all the attention, as she does every single time. I hate Pepper so much. Are we on it now? Yes, leave the room. It's Mummy Pig's time, not yours. Go away, Pepper.
Hasn't it fallen at a very, very convenient point with that? Who do we think the daddy is? I think it's Uncle Pig. I don't think you get pigger zebra hybrids and things.
I think it's Dr. Bear. Is it Dr. Bear?
Mr. Ball. Really said Mr. Ball. So I can't believe that they did this on national TV. How unserious is the rest of the world taking
It's
us
just
at
goes
this
to
point?
show that Britain does not take anything seriously.
Oh, it's the one you sent me this morning. This was
Look
going.
at her in her dress. And then Pepper coming up in the back, as per usual.
It's called Peppa Pig, though. It's not called the Pigs or
I know, but
whatever land. It is called Peppa Pig.
It is Pig's pregnancy. Give her some shine. Pepper, leave her alone. For God's sakes.
Thank you for tapping the screen. I appreciate
Can I just say, as a parent, one thing that aggravated me about kids, and I think it's because I've got a bit of like a collection thing going off, like for me, like if there's a collection of things, I want the whole thing. So when my son liked Fireman Sam, I wanted every toy that went with the set. And it's when they add new characters, it's just for someone like me, it's like, this is an extra thing for me to freaking buy. Can you just leave it to the tiny little world with like 5 characters and make things easy for us?
I'm the exact same. Also, speaking as Fireman Sam, I hate Norman. Why is he always setting fires?
Why have social services not been involved?
No, for real. I'm honestly at this point, I won't be surprised if Fireman Sam just slapped him. Because
it's been going on since at least the 80s. That cartoon is very, very, very old. To keep Fireman Sam job.
Have you seen the movie? There was a movie about it, and it's called like The Great Pontypandy Fire, and it's Norman setting a fire.
The Great Fire of Pontypandy. I've watched them all. My son was absolutely obsessed with Fireman Sam when he was little. We've even seen the stage show that was on DVD. Dog always got me running off. So Blue's, Wolfie's going to be, I was reading Blue's comment at the time. Wolfie's going to be our reporter on the field with all things Peppa Pig related. So
I've been promoted. Thank you very much.
Promoted. I'm going to drop you now.
See ya.
Oh, right. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, yeah. Medication check.
Or order your medication if required. Remember to stay hydrated too.
Yes, people. Right. Well, let's see what's happening with Tessa Net,
I did have a very bad night's sleep, but
I'm just going to mention this. I do know that there is Cam 2 Kirsty drama-y stuff going off for those that do know that have messaged me. Out of, I don't know, I want to say out of respect, but it's not just respect as such, because I always say everyone on air is fair game for me. It's more out of the fact that I am very freaking confused by what's going off. Certain receipts have been shown, 2 sides haven't been said. I'm not one to speak on it at the moment. So thank you for sending me stuff, but I will not be speaking on it at the moment. There's just not enough out there. I actually, to anybody watching, it's not exactly come across great, Belle. It's not looking great. All I say is for everybody, and I mean everybody involved in this, I hope you are all okay. No, it's no worries, sweetheart. It's one of those that obviously normally do like to cover things and put my 2p's worth in, but it's just it's a shame, it's heartbreaking, but I just don't feel like there is enough information, though the people that have given information, I feel like they've given all that they can, but I just hope that everyone is okay. So those that know, those that don't, you can go and nosy on your own, but I don't feel like I've got enough information, but I respect those that put up the information they did and that they only put up what they did. It all makes sense if you know.
Just, yeah.
So Kirsten escaped her house, then had a seizure next to the war memorial, fell out of her wheelchair, and her Dexcom. Now, is the Dexcom those ones that are attached to the arm for the diabetes? Am I right? Fell out, and then the ambulance man taped. This doesn't make sense.
I kind of made a run for it. Although when I say run, I made a wheel of it. I made a wheel of it last night, babe, outside my house, which obviously was very unsafe of me to do. So I exited my own house and didn't have very good intentions behind.
Can they just be taped back on? I'd have thought they was sort of attached, not just like stuck on like sticky things. Or am I wrong? I'd have thought to monitor your blood sugar, they'd have been like quite well. No, I didn't think they could.
But that's all I'm going to say.
But can't go out alone, paramedics take it. But it's not, yeah, I wouldn't have thought it'd be sterile.
I seizure on the pavement. Right near the war memorial.
I thought they would have. I thought I wasn't going insane.
I ended up falling out of my wheelchair onto the pavement and having a seizure by the war memorial in our town. And I don't know how I wheeled that long way, but I wouldn't have wheeled back, it's for sure. And then obviously an ambulance got me. It came out on the pavement and the ambulance tried to...
I was just going to say that. There's no bumps or bruises. Now, even if I have a minor one and I don't have the type that she presents with anymore, thank you for God, touch wood, I drop like a sack of potatoes because most of the ones I'm having nowadays are FND ones. And the fact that I drop like a sack of potatoes and so relaxed is actually quite good because you do yourself less damage. So my legs go from under me. With bruises...
Tape it back on,
They wouldn't miss the job, would they?
Tape it back on. When it's already fallen out, they put it back on to me and taped it.
They wouldn't.
How does that work?
I'll say just more nonsense, but I did notice on the comments of this that somebody did say, let me see if we can find it. A man fell over near the war memorial yesterday afternoon and needed assistance. Ambulance, though. I wonder where Kirsty got the idea from. So, as always, I love to nosy through. Thank you, welcome. Nosy through the comments. You find a lot of things out there in the comments. So, yeah, use the elderly. Well, if that's true, obviously we always have to say hypothetically. It sounds like she copied the accident, if the accident did happen. I'm saying if, because obviously I don't actually know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
England's
To news, though. This is what I was talking about the other day and found the video.
GPs have accepted new contract amendments, which would
we do, Fennec. We hope he's okay.
And end the 8 a.m. scramble
This is
for
such
appointments,
good
the government
news.
says. Well, the British Medical Association and the government agreed the deal at a meeting on Thursday, which includes an extra £889 million in funding from the year 2025 to 2026. Our reporter Sam Horder is here now. Sam, just tell us a bit more about all this.
Well, look, the new deal is aimed at making it easier to see doctors, especially the process for getting appointments. So, look, I'm sure we have all experienced calling the doctor early morning, that race to get through, being put on hold for 40 minutes and then being told there's no appointments available. Well, from October, GP surgeries will have
October is a long while, I know, guys, but it's still good news.
to offer online bookings, and theoretically there should be more appointments available. The other big part of today's announcement is that patients will be able to request to see a specific doctor like we used to be able to.
The other thing that this deal does is it starts to bring back the family-doctor relationship, because we know that doctors enjoy it, patients really value it, and all the evidence says if you can see the same doctor over and over again, especially if you've got multiple health conditions or an ongoing health condition, it makes a real difference.
Yeah, but Sam, in theory, as you said, it all sounds good, doesn't it, on paper, but...
Yeah, Mum, I mean, I have to admit, for some of my appointments, over-the-phone diagnosis are absolutely great. For some things, I don't need to go out of the house, and getting out of the house can just be difficult. But some things, it's like, how can you diagnose that over the phone? You need to see the person, see the issue, and prod and poke them.
We can go and book these appointments online, but can we actually get the appointments? How's it going to happen?
Yeah, well, that is the big question, isn't it? What the Health Secretary says he's doing is cutting red tape and bureaucracy. So the government has halved the number of targets that GPs have to hit in other areas. They're also providing more funding. This new deal is a 7.2% increase. So that's supposed to cover repair and maintenance of buildings, but also staff costs and dealing with a sort of growing population. But look, the root cause of a lack of appointments is a lack of doctors. We have a massive shortage in this country, coupled with a growing population. So in July, the Health Secretary promised to recruit 1,000 more GPs by the end of March. So far, about 900 have been recruited, which is obviously good. But I mean, it stems the tide a little bit, but this is a much wider systemic problem. And really, the only thing that's going to improve this entire process for patients is making it more attractive for GPs to enter the profession and remain in the profession. And that almost certainly will be something like better wages.
Okay, Sam, so a step in the right direction, but we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out in practice. Thank you.
That is good news. I mean, every time I go to the doctor's surgery, in the surgery, there's nobody there. we do need nurses too, but it's a step in the right direction. I know they're now allowing pharmacists to provide more services than before and giving them more powers, which is good as well. Because I feel like a lot of people end up in A&E when it could have been a doctor's appointment, but because they've waited so long for a doctor, it ends up not. They end up in A&E when they don't need to be there. They actually end up having to be in A&E because an infection that could have been sorted out by a doctor that they've never been able to get to an appointment ends up being a very, very bad infection that they end up in A&E for. So I hope that made sense in what I was saying. Yeah, something needs to be done. And I also think, yeah, exactly, Wolfie. I think there's a lot more things that allowing pharmacists to do. It's like UTIs now. They can the pharmacists can give you stronger medication than they did before, which I think it's about time. Obviously, they don't want to give too much to the pharmacists because the pharmacists are sort of like an intermediate between the doctors and the patient to stop things accidentally being given that aren't safe. Because you would not, I've worked in the pharmacy, you won't believe how many times a doctor prescribed something to a patient, it got to the pharmacy and it flagged it, yeah, this isn't actually safe for the patient. And that was part of the thing for the pharmacy, just to like a safely clause as well. So things are never going to be perfect. It's always a work in progress. But yeah, something definitely needed to be done. To have A&E waiting hours up to 12 hours, yeah, it can be absolutely crazy. You're welcome. So it is very good news. Obviously, there are still people that are abusing the A&E system when they could have just gone to the pharmacy. But getting into a doctor's difficult. I also think it's about time that people were able to get into a dentist. I know I'm very lucky that I managed to get a specialist one, but you hear a lot on the A&E waiting list of, oh, I went to A&E and there's people there with freaking toothache and they shouldn't be there. Do people not realise how bad toothache is? I will never shame anyone for being at A&E in pain because they have toothache. To be honest with you, that's something I would never shame anyone for. I had a really bad seizure and ended up in A&E because of the seizure, but the pain from my toothache was bothering me more than the seizure. Yeah, toothache's horrible. So the fact is that we need more healthcare that stops people from ending up in A&E and preventative measures that prevent people from becoming poorly as well, which would help if the cost of living wasn't so freaking high. But, Right, speaking of more healthcare problems, I did say that we were still going to cover her because she likes the attention, didn't I? Yes, I did. So I'm trying not to be a bitch, but you're fair game now, sweetheart. So this trigger warnings, we're going to be talking about anxiety and we're going to be pretty fair because I'm sure everybody has suffered from anxiety at some point, but it does appear differently for different people and different levels. So this is Luna explaining her anxiety and you naughty and a bit of something. Let's just hear her out.
That's the thing, Giraffe Girl. Everybody's anxiety does different things, doesn't it? Everybody's anxiety does different things. Yes, LTJ. I woke up this morning with my anxiety already hitting one. I had a couple of weird dreams last night, and it may have been that got my anxiety going.
I'm not sure, Naughty, because I've added a few sneaky things in, but I've got a lot of things in for tomorrow.
No, all sorts of things can get somebody's anxiety triggered. Hello, Kim Warrior. That's the first comment I've seen from you. So, yeah, it could be ghosting you. I'm sorry. I'm certainly not ignoring you. Good evening.
She doesn't look anxious here if she's saying that she's anxious, but some people can look anxious. Sorry, thank you. Some people can be anxious and not look anxious.
Well, thank you so much for the guitar. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. Bird like Luna, 25 to 30 years, Nikki.
Mine's a supermarket. I'm not good in supermarkets. Can be fine in other situations. Put me in a supermarket and those bright lights and somebody looking over my shoulder while I'm picking up some butter. And so different things can set different people off. Like you might see somebody in a pub and they're fine, but then you put them in a different scenario, and because of what triggers their anxiety, they can be different. And what she's saying there, I've tried.
Hello, Denise.
But
Good
because
evening
my
to you.
eyesight's not good in this eye, and I'm relying on that eye now. It's not so good. So I've ordered some of those UV.
Yes. What's the box on the wall?
but
Elsie,
they've
it's
got
actually
UV.
old.
Hoping they're going to help.
I've already shown people once, but I'll show you again. I need to re-stick that back down. It's actually a rose.
See, mine's from trauma that's happened in
One
a
of the
room that was quite
Laurens
bright.
sent
So
it to me last year. It's a forever rose.
just don't like it.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I unpacked a box today of TikTok stuff. I've got a box of TikTok stuff that is one of the last boxes from the move. It's not the last box, but it's one of the last boxes.
This is what we wanted to talk about.
It's full of TikTok accessories, including the St. Patrick's Day stuff.
Oh, I do like that.
You know, my St. Patrick's Day banner and hat and badge and t-shirt and stuff from last year. So my St. Patrick's Day stuff, my microphone, you know, the big mic, the Echo microphone, and a few other odds and ends that I've gathered over.
This is what I want to put out, that bombing and that speech issue there, when Annette does that, I believe that is genuine 100%.
My time on TikTok
that bit, not so much. But you can repeat. People who have speech problems can start to repeat their words, and it's not necessarily a stutter issue. It can be a brain fog issue. But I think what happens is she starts to get maybe a speech issue, and then she exaggerates it. I really do believe that, Lily.
To use when I'm live.
Thank you.
Nikki, I don't have a wish list at the moment, but thank you for the offer. The Build-A-Bear is Spock. It's the Star Trek Build-A-Bear. There you go. It says, live long and prosper on its feet.
See, Nanette and that stutter is the reason that I don't come live some days. It's because I don't know if some people popped in when I was live with one of my friends that has FND, and I went live because they was talking about the speech issues, and I went live with her because she understands my speech issue, but she is the reason that I won't come live some days. It's not always because I'm really poorly with a seizure, but it is because of my speech problems, and I get scared that people are going to assume that I'm in a net on the days
Star
that
Trek.
it blares up.
And it's got the Spock ears.
Hey, sweetheart.
I think it was an American Build-A-Bear about 10 years ago. I actually got it at the Star Trek convention.
What she said here about anxiety is perfectly true. It comes for different people in different ways. I'm very fluffy. I'm very not miss much, sweetheart. I'm very confused as if she's trying to say that she's meant to be anxious in this video. Because what I will say is, if you're anxious and you're coming online, can that be a good thing or can it be a bad thing? Now, we've already had comments saying that if you're suffering with anxiety, why put yourself on social media? Now, let's look at this from two sides. We'll look at from the first side that maybe if you're feeling anxious coming on social media and talking to people might actually help your brain get out of that. If social media isn't a place that you normally feel anxious. If you're anxious over something that's going off in the background, maybe coming on social media like me doing these reactions is nothing to do with, say, I haven't got anything to feel anxious about, but let's say you've got a problem in the background that you're waiting for some news and you're wanting to take your mind off it and you come on to talk about something else. It could take your mind off it. So you might appear a little bit anxious to start with, but after talking to people, your anxiety might go away. And it might be a way of you trying to fight through that anxiety or ignore the problem and have some respite from it. It TikTok gave me my confidence back. My anxiety was crazy first time I went live. Now, it's not exactly, so we could look at it from that point of view. So maybe sometimes when Annette is feeling a little bit anxious, she comes on live to either ignore it or try and brush it off to try and get through it. So that, yeah, is an escapism. So people can come online when they're feeling anxious to try and get through it, to try and cope with it as a distraction, or try and sort of say, look, I still go into Aldi even though it gets me anxious. Some days I literally leave the trolley and go and sit back in the car. Literally, I have to go sit back in the car, but I'm not going to let it stop me going out the house because I don't want it to. However, we're going to talk about another side of not just anxiety, but chronic illnesses or illnesses in general. It's like, same as I said, guys, you know, sometimes I just end and I go sorry, because I feel a flare up coming up and I don't want to appear online poorly, because it's not good for me. I need to look after myself if I'm starting to feel ill, and sitting on here is not doing that, is it? I should be on the sofa and somewhere safe. And two, I have a duty of care over not making you guys worry about me, which you're probably going to worry a little bit that I just disappear. But if I'm going to sit here and my tics are more than just a minor one and I'm ticking really, really badly, which I don't do normally. If people tick a lot normally, then that's the normal and people are used to that. Or if I was to collapse, that would be, obviously some days people can't predict it, but if I feel an aura coming on, it would be irresponsible of me not to listen to it and freak you out. So that's where I come to this next video, which I'm not going to play all of because apparently it's like 7 minutes long. Last night, Annette had, shall we call it an episode, and for well over 10 minutes just stared at the screen, causing mixed reactions of worry. I'm assuming that says and frustration in the chat. We've got comments here. Do you need an ambulance? Annette, get some help now. Why is there no talking, please? And I'll just let this play while we talk, actually. Some people saying, is she asleep? Now, she looks very, very sad. And I feel for her. I'm a little confused on the steering. Could this be I don't know what this steering is, but somebody said, so there was a couple of videos like this. I just wanted to play this one because I could talk over it. Some people are saying she's doing it for attention. Some people are saying that this is what she does. This is, see, Wolfie, I didn't want to sort of mention that because I didn't want to give her ideas. Staring can be absent seizures, absolutely, but you normally only do it for a short period of time. If it's a long period of time, that might be why people are saying about phoning for an ambulance. And this is what I'm saying, is this is what Annette does when she goes into an anxiety mode, which is a potentially that you can shut down in anxiety mode and you're just like frozen. If she knew this was coming up, if she had warning signs that she was starting to feel this way because she was talking before, she should have come offline, because now she has caused so much panic in her chat about herself. Some people are actually genuinely worried by the sounds of it, that it could be something really, really severe. Then you've got people that are now going to say you're doing this for attention, you're faking it, blah, 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 which isn't going to help her anxiety in the long run. Somebody said, I think something said that the mod said at the end, I don't even know if it's at the end of this one because there was so many of them, that she's okay, that this is what happens. Doing this on live is not good, but however, I don't know at this point whether she's got into, when you get into this level, whether you are unable to break yourself out of it. Yeah, Barbara, it does look like a genuine anxiety attack. And once you're in sort of these sort of attacks or modes, it might not be simple for her now she's in this point to end the live. Does that make sense? Yeah, fight, flight or freeze. So she might actually be unable to end the live for herself at this point. However, from what I understood, she was talking about feeling anxious before. I think it paused. I think she did manage to pause it after 10 minutes. Let's just speed it up because it does go through, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she put, let's just do this, see if it pulled. I think because, so she started shaking her head, she did sort of coming down to it. I don't know which comments she was shaking her head at. I really felt for her hair. And this is one thing I will say, that it would be nice if we had the ability to give a trusted mod the ability to pause our live or even end our live on our behalfs. In case it paused here. Now, I don't know if at this point it was because she wasn't moving about very much, and you know how you get those little jigsaw pieces come across if you've not done something for a while? If she'd been on so long that she didn't put that jigsaw piece across, she was generally frozen and couldn't do it, and that's why it paused it for her. I go quite trying to control. Exactly. So a mod rang her, reckoned. Well, I think she genuinely was struggling here. The only thing I would say is I believe that she knew that she was struggling before it got to this stage. And if she was struggling before she got to this stage, she should have ended the live. If she needed to talk to people, create a little WhatsApp chat with the people that you trust and talk to them, because all that this has done now is it's caused people to suspect that she's been faking it. I believe that she has been on since. It's going to cause people to suggest that she's been faking it. Now, we don't know. She could have been faking it, and I could be completely wrong. So she caused her to be faking it, and if she isn't, those comments are going to make her more anxious, which isn't good for her health. And even if she wasn't faking it, or if she was, it's caused a lot of distress for people that was genuinely worried about her. She has told, yeah, exactly. She's told so many lies. People are going to suspect that she's faking it. So I'm just saying that we have responsibility over our own conditions and our own health as much as we can control them. So if you have any symptoms and you know it could progress into something, it's maybe time to come off live. But it would be really nice if TikTok could give us the ability to, I can select certain mods to have powers over my boxers. It would be really nice if I could select certain mods to have powers over pause, even if it was just pausing my live so that I could unpause it. Because eventually, if you don't unpause after so many minutes, the live ends. That would be really, really useful. And I know some people have who are in agencies are contacting TikTok to see if that they will do that. I don't know what you guys think about that. I just think it'd be really, really helpful, because if anything ever happened to me, you guys wouldn't need to worry, because Ian is at home when I'm live, the dog is here, but it would be really scary and it would be chaotic, and people would be talking in the chat where if it was ended, no new people would come in and it wouldn't blow up. Like the ball that cried wolf and then really need help, nobody believes her. Exactly. I don't know. I do suspect that it looked genuine. From when I see her do things I suspect are fake, that looked a bit more authentic to me. Yeah, and it does give dignity to the host as well. So that's just my take on that.
So you think you want a house capybara?
Well, let's have something happy.
You see that dark patch on the back of my couch? That's where Cheesecake rubs her boogers. Right, Cheese? Thanks, Jamie.
Why do people get house capybaras and I don't?
Capybara, huh?
Anyone else want a house capybara?
You see that dark patch on the back of my couch?
It would, Tam.
That's where Cheesecake rubs her boogers.
He's so
right,
cute.
Cheese?
I know, it worries me. So you don't want one naughty.
This is Oatmeal, and when she was a baby, her friends pecked poop and then pecked her directly in the eye, which resulted in her getting pink eye. And she brought the bowl. This is Goku, and last summer he managed to take a nice big swig of paint, so I had to spend $90 to call avian poison control while simultaneously bawling my eyes out. After all that drama, he was perfectly fine, and he brought the peas.
Right,
this is Mayno, and last summer she lost the love of her life by being runner-up on a duck dating show. And she brought the blueberries. This is Goosey, and all of her goose siblings tragically died, so now she is a lone goose amongst a bunch of ducks. And she brought the superworms. This is Coconut, and Coconut is traumatized from a round of antibiotics she received over 2 years ago. Still hides in the corner of the coop every morning, assuming that we are going to give her more antibiotics, but it's been over for years. And she brought the shredded lettuce. Nacho, and Nacho is adopted because his original family abandoned him. And he brought the sweet corn. This is Guinness, and one time she was eggbound and cracked an egg inside her body, and I figured that out because I saw part of an eggshell hanging out of her butt. And very unfortunately, I had to pull the part of the cracked eggshell out by hand and clean it out to save her life. And she brought the minnow mix. This is peanut, and frequently when she falls asleep in the pond, she drops her head completely underwater and drowns herself.
Thank you for tapping.
And she also brought peas to complete her duck salad. This is oatmeal.
Take and/or order your medication if required. Remember to stay hydrated too. Take and/or order your medication if required. Remember to stay.
Right. There's a lot going off with Court Assassin at the moment, so I thought I'd cover that. Court Assassin told everyone to report her to social services and then got really upset. I mean, why would you tell people to do that?
Right, let me turn the comments off so I can be serious because these lot are making me laugh.
Well, why are you being like that with me, Billy, though?
No, because...
I don't understand.
Right, anyway, what's going on? Barker, is it?
No, I'm having my cig. Let me have my cig, please.
you need a spliff, darling. Let me come bring you a spliff. Honestly, you should start smoking. You feel well better. Right, what's happened?
So I've been having hate lives done on me all week since that fucking live with Angie on Tuesday with that Tara and that ghost.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's been offshoot hate lives about me, and this one troll account called Laura, she's like mass reported me to social services. Like, I can't even see Alia now because of the report, like the nature of the reports that she's put in.
What?
And then anyway, me and Barker have split up, and Barker's fucking gifted them all, innit?
Yeah, but you know he's doing that to get a reaction at you, man. You know that, innit?
I don't understand why she's still with Barker.
Your is Millen, right? I'm not nasty like that. I would never do things like that to people that I love or that I've cared about.
It's terrible, and she generally did look really upset. I mean, I don't watch a lot of her, I only obviously watch the clips, but if social services have found a reason for her not to see the children, they must have found something when they investigated.
You think it's okay?
That's not me screaming
at her.
If you were
sober, would you think that was okay?
Yeah, because I talk about loud of this. I'll be swearing at the kids.
Listen,
I'm assuming this is partly why.
What you doing? You and you and you.
Listen.
Fucking sort yourselves out before we leave this fucking hotel.
She's very, very drunk. A lot of the time when she's on live, her children live, her daughter, I think, she's only got one, hasn't she, with her ex.
Oh,
she has...
Right, everyone send your heart me's in. There's nearly 900 people watching me and they're not sending the heart me's in. What do you want?
People don't have to send you anything. They just, I mean, it's your room, your rules, you can do what you want. People don't have to send you anything. It's a legally admitted contraction. People can just sit and watch you. And maybe if you was nicer, people, they'd send you something.
What do you expect me to do?
You shouting it, that's not going to make you do it.
Do not tell me to be quiet when I'm fucking need to tell all these lots in the heart me's in.
Shouting at somebody, I've never ever known people to respond, thank you. Nobody respond to being aggressive. You know, shouting at somebody on the other side. Oh, it's like
I'm not coming
people
off.
do.
I'm not
people
coming
do.
Off. You do not make me come off. Do not make me come off.
Thank you, Auntie.
No.
It's like, why?
What?
It's like if you're that bothered that you only want people that are going to support you, go subscriber and go subscriber lives only.
What are you doing?
That upset. The thing is, for these people, TikTok is a sole source of income, I assume.
Well, better send your heart
so
right
I
now.
won't understand
Everyone
it because
send the heart
I come on here just because I'm a nosy cunt. So I suppose I don't understand that.
If you want me to stay on,
they just put 7,000 in for a holiday. Wow!
I'm going to give everyone a chance to send the heart me's in before I come.
I just don't get why people follow and oblige. It's like, I have to admit, there's people that I follow on here I really liked, and as soon as they started getting beggy, or thank you. They start asking for things and even saying things like get your heart me's in, and it makes me not want to do it. It just could be me. I could go into a shop with every intention of buying an appliance that I've saved up for that I need, and as soon as the salesman gets pushy on me, I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing that now. I ain't buying it. I don't want it anymore. Thank you, welcome. Right. This, I thought, I mean, I've always felt a little bit sorry for her. I think it's just, I don't like to see people cry. With the Barker, we've seen what Barker looks like now. We should just pick on the looks, it's the personality, but we saw the personality before we saw the looks. And I was a little bit shocked that we was all getting so worked up over somebody who treated people like rubbish and didn't look like Brad Pitt with lots of money. But Ems admitted to doing the do with Barker, and this was hilarious. I'm just going to play it for you while I let the dogs in. And I will read all your comments when I come back. Everybody.
Absolutely not, love. He couldn't even satisfy me, let's put it that way, and to the point of I went to Ryan. Ryan, Boardhead. I went to Ryan, and oh my god, fucking hell. By the end of it, my love, my legs were fucking shaking. My legs.
The fact that Court Assassin is just there ranting while on mute.
We're shaking by the end of me and fucking Ryan. Let's put it that way. Did fucking Barker ever do that? No, he didn't. No one's jealous of Barker, and especially not his fucking looks either. I felt embarrassed.
Yes, you are.
So, it's just so Rose West. I need to go into this deep dive down Ems. I think we need to do a live where those of us that don't know the full story of Ems goes down it, but I've got to tread very carefully because from what I understand, it ain't good. So if we might have to go and see if Fat Creek's done one, and we trust good old Fat Creek. It's I just don't. I want to say that thing is you shouldn't air your dirty laundry in public, but then if they didn't nosy cunts like me wouldn't have anything to talk about, would they?
Checkpoint. Take or order your medication if needed. Remember to stay hydrated and eat too. Checkpoint.
Right, so this was a new person that we'd come across. Well, I'd come across. Seen a few more videos on. Just going to watch a little bit of this one. Just I'll know more about them apart from the fact that they was on TV. I
do engage as much as I can, I'm not the most confident. I'm trying my best. Oh, shame I missed it, man. Damn, I had the thing up. Jason, just to survive, lovely, that's it.
They're very calm. Hi, Jessica. I wonder if that's
no, I'm not letting the haters win, Sinead,
people are more sympathetic to them.
Not letting them win.
She's infuriating with her lies. Yeah, to feed her habit.
Yeah, and a lot of you are hating as well. Yeah, why would I? Yeah, that's just not fair, man. You're being horrible, some of you, and it's not fair. Do me a favour. If I put up, people, if you listen, please, if I put up a gift...
This Mark Sully. Mark Sully. They was on TV for... being homeless and being addicted, and they were supposed to have cleaned up their act, but not so much cleaning up their act.
Target. Say and yes if you want to help me hit my target. I'm going to put a normalish target up. Yes, if you can help.
Thank you.
If you want to help and I put one up, can you help? Yeah.
The fact that you are gifting to somebody who's obviously going to use that money to take illegal substances that could potentially unalive themselves. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Claire.
I don't know how you could morally do that.
Thank you, sweetheart. Come on, people.
But I think maybe the calm way that she speaks is probably alluring to people. Thank you. I suspect that might be it.
Come on, people, it's got to be.
Just to survive. Oh.
Was that Brewster I just saw?
Thank you. Thank you, the gate. Well, while we're speaking of this, there's something I will mention. I said that I didn't want to go into the whole two situation, the thing that's fallen out on here. One thing I will say, after a lot has happened on the app, I recycle anything that I get about. I exchange and I recycle, and I do top up myself. I'm quite a big fan of knowing if people are raising money for charity, sending little gifts, and I might be more prone to send a little bit of a bigger gift. After seeing so many things on here where it's turned out that people that were raising money for charity have dipped their hands in that money and borrowed with intention to pay back and might necessarily not have paid back, or at the point that it's come to light, and then we'll never know if they was going to or how long it will. I personally now have made the decision for myself that I will never ever use my gifts on TikTok to gift to a charity or to gift to anybody raising money for charity things. That's my decision. People can make their own decisions. I obviously will still, if I feel that it's worthy, donate to GoFundMe's and things like that. The anti-TikTokers made a very, very good post about things like that. Hello, Mrs. A. I did have an intention of sharing that. I don't know if I'm sharing that on. While we're actually talking about that, I want to actually share that now. Because I think it's relevant when we're talking about someone like her. Let's find you, Mr. Anti-TikToker. Let's watch this. I think it's very relevant.
Boys and girls.
Very.
This is just a quick TikTok.
Very good point.
You have to fill your day with recording once, or you get out your algorithm. So there's something that's been popping up, which I'm going to chuck 2p at. And it's kind of what I'm not doing. And I'm helping the victims of.
It is so hard.
And that's charity work. Listen up. If you are setting up a charity form page link on this app, which generates money, do not be fooled by those that will take advantage of you. Now, I've heard something going on. I'm going to look into it a little bit, but I'm really quite concerned about how money is used. So let's just say this fucking straight down the line so everybody understands. You do not touch that money. Not even if you want to lend a tenner. Not even if you want to borrow 100. Not even if you want to go to someone whose heart is bleeding because they haven't got anything, or haven't got water coming through the tap, or they're living inside a tent and they're knocking on your door asking for money. Do not lend out this pot. These people know you've got a pot of cash and will use your empathy, feeling guilty, all of it. They'll pull all your heartstrings, and it doesn't matter what. You do not hand this money over. When you designate to a charity, you've designated it to a charity. Just think about it.
It isn't for you to give.
Once go into a shop, pay your money, and then put your hand in the till the next day, say, I just need to borrow a fiver. I know I paid you a fiver yesterday. I promise I'm going to give it back. It just wouldn't happen. And the problem is,
exactly like
people who are
Tara.
not good with money tend to not be good with money. So I know it looks a big amount, tenner, 50, £100, but you cannot touch it. Even if the person is relevant to the charity that you're saving up and donating towards.
That's a very good point as well, TikTok. TikTok takes 70% as well.
To the people with the most severe needs. So if you touch that money, you are, even though if you're collecting.
And this is one thing I will say, that I do understand that TikTok needs to take money because they allow people to use the platform to make the money. Like without TikTok, you couldn't make the videos and get the money in. But if you give into charity, TikTok's probably not the best way to do it. Just go on the official side.
Money as well. It's classed as theft.
Yeah, go directly through the charities.
It is a theft. You cannot put your little pinkies in this piggy bank of change that you've collected, not even to borrow 50p. If you didn't have no milk and you needed 50p, don't put your finger in it. If you think someone's down and out, that you feel that they need the money, don't give them the money.
Oh, hello, Alex.
It's hard. You really do need to be specific on here when it comes to giving to charity. Because if you do anything out of the remit of what you've set up, you
couldn't say it better.
Either whether you've give it away or taken it for yourself, you've stolen from the charity. This is just my 2 pence. If I can bring any more detail to a particular situation, I'm going to. Look, don't be fooled by money. It's tempting. I get it. But it's about morals. The reason why you're doing it. Don't forget that.
So I just thought that was very relevant while we was talking about, you know, people gifting and stuff. Because I said, I now will not gift if people are saying they're raising money for charity. I obviously do still exchange. I appreciate all the little gifts I get. I turned on the heart me's because people wanted them on. I wish we could set it so that you only allowed people to send heart me's, but TikTok is what TikTok is. So yeah, guys, what the anti-TikToker said was completely right. You know, if you are raising money that's supposed to be from charities via TikTok, as people still will do, and there are many people that do it, and the money does go to the charities. We've seen people that have done it. We've seen Pockets did an amazing thing where the sub money went to charities and they donated it and they showed us there and then. I'm not saying there are people that don't, but there are people that have dipped their hands in. And for me now, if I'm donating a gift, it is because I'm expecting the gift to go to that person. They can use it for whatever they want to do with. I will not be bought in if people are saying I'm raising money for charity. That's going to automatically make me now not gift. But people can make their own decisions. Right, new person unlocked. This is Jasmine Red Bull. And we wanted to follow the dramas, somebody knew. And this is explaining how they got kicked out of the... Thank you, everyone. They got kicked out of the flat. And apparently this was the incident that caused it. And this reminded me of when you was little and you did naughty things on the stairs. Please tell me I wasn't the only person that did something like this. I didn't do it on my home stairs because we had a spiral staircase, but I did do it on my auntie's, yeah, but never online. This is the thing is, like, doing this online is dangerous. Alphabet 2.0, yes. Exactly, Wolfie. It's dangerous. I did it on cardboard, to be fair. I did it in cardboard. We put cardboard down and I slid down in a box. But as a child of the 80s, so she ended up in the cells for criminal damage. Wow.
Oh, I want to go.
What did she damage?
I want to go.
I'm not going to play much more of this because I don't want to give people ideas. I just want to play the end bit. Yeah, this is a thing to do it on TikTok.
You don't get entertainment in here, so I'm giving entertainment.
The bottom step liner has come. See, the thing is, it's not your property, is it?
Let's do it then. We'll do it TikTok. One more time, yeah?
Well, let's. Oh, yeah, you can see. Look. So, right, let's watch the rest of it.
Hi, TikTok. So I've come on because you.
This is Jasmine Red Bull. I was sent them and asked what I thought, and I said, "Well, I've not watched enough of them to know what I think. So let's watch them, and then we can know what we think."
I got arrested, which I'm not proud of whatsoever.
I'll smash the plot.
So when I slid down the stairs in that suitcase, that's what got me evicted. And one day, obviously, I didn't know. I was sorting stuff out in my flat. I had a knock at my door. So obviously, I was on live as well. I've gone to my door. My social worker at the time was there. And at the time, I was like, she had a letter on her. I was like, well, I don't know if this is it could just be a warning, this. I asked her, I was like, is this an eviction? She was like that. So I was like, right, okay. So then obviously when she's given me the eviction, I've started packing my stuff up. And because I wasn't allowed to like basically get all my stuff or anything like that. They would have.
Well, didn't they have already? I'm sorry, you'd have known that you was being evicted. Someone doesn't just come in and go out. You have to be pre-warned that you're being evicted.
Person. So I've smashed my TV up, I've smashed my lamp up, I've smashed my mirror up now, so that they can't give it to the next person. So obviously, when I've done all like the damage and stuff like that to my property at the time, I've come downstairs now and I've had a candle pot. And when I've had this candle pot, I've obviously said, look, I'm
this a process?
The car.
She lived in supported living, like a placement home, so it's easy to be. Oh, is it? Thank you for letting us know that. I didn't know that.
Obviously, when I've gone, I was like holding it like that to the car.
Well, that's a good point. To have a social worker, there must be other things going on.
Place, I was seeing red and everything like that. So then obviously
there's laws to protect. You can't just. I'd imagine that you can't just go, oh, that's it out. There must be some sort of warning process or something.
It's a Mr. Green. So then I've rode a Mr. Green.
I don't know, Wolfie.
I've been.
I don't know why people admit things.
A police van, a police car, and another police car. So obviously when they've come, they was saying what's gone on. And I was seeing red, I was smoking, I just didn't give it a fuck, I'm not gonna lie to you. And obviously, when they've gone upstairs into my flat to see what the damage has been done, they've obviously walkie-talkied and started creeping over now. So when they've crept over, obviously I knew what was coming. I was like, guys, I'm gonna get arrested now, I'm getting arrested, like, da-da-da-da-da. So when they've come walked over me, they was like, Jasmine, you're under arrest for criminal damage, finger to the car, and what I did. So when they searched me, I was still smoking my Mr. Green. They've obviously used that against me. When they've searched me, they've found 2 10s on me, which is class B. So now, obviously, I've got done for possession of, you know what I mean? So obviously, I'm there, get off me, like going mad like that, as you can tell in the video. And so then obviously, my mate calmed me down, and I've got up now, so I was like, just arrest me, just do it. So then
Guys, that's my backup account if you want to follow it.
And they tried to end me live when I was live streaming at the time. And obviously, they put me in the back of the van. And when I was in the back of the van, they obviously took me to the police station. Got through the police station, obviously I was in my handcuffs, and when I got to the desk, I've had to fill all my details out, I've had to fill everything out, and they put me in my cell. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was in my cell, I tried to do something triggering warning, I tried to, you know what I mean? So then they've come in now,
I think it's very clear why this person has a social worker. They obviously need a social worker. They need extra support. It's a dry house, supported living. The rugs would have got her. Yeah, those sort of places that it's a blanket rule, obviously, to protect the other people. It's, yeah, no, I do understand that.
Over 24 hours, it was absolutely hectic.
Some people still, as adults, do have social workers under certain criteria.
It's actually just a horrible place. So I did my interview. Once I did my interview, obviously I got charged. And when I got charged, I did my fingerprints and my picture. But when I've done my picture,
oh, that's so sad to hear.
Because I didn't have my wig on, due to what I said before. So obviously now it's been 2 days, coming up to the 3rd day, and I wasn't fit for court. So I had to be fit for court, so then I could do whatever I needed to do. So then on the 3rd day, I was in there, I was fit for court, put a happy smile on, I was just, you know what I mean, like, just wanting to get it out of the way, you know. So then when I've obviously gone into court now, they've put obviously handcuffs to search me. They put me in one of them vans, the white van with the squares in. They've obviously went behind the police, like the court. They've brought me down. I've gone into the cell, like the cell, like under the court. And when I've obviously, I had to wait for my solicitor and all of that. And when I've done all of that, obviously, they've brought me
I have some sympathy so far for this person.
They've said, they've read out all my charges, and I was guilty to every single one of them. Guilty.
I will say, though, regarding to this person, they've acted a little bit more crazy. Obviously, we've seen them do that stunt. They seem a little bit more fun than Alphabet, to be fair. So a little bit disappointed that the actions of their consequences seem to have caught up with them, which rightfully they should. Alphabet never seems to get consequences of their actions catch up with them.
Charges.
They've got a lucky charm.
So I got 6 months behaviour thing, and I got a fine.
Oh.
So when I've come out,
You used to until I found out why she was kicked out of her mother's pub.
Everything.
So we're still very new to this person, so watching as we go along.
And before I came,
please feel free to tell us why, or tag me in things that explain. We like proof.
I got sent a picture of 18 bin bags at my property. Even though what I've done, I hold my hands up. It is disgusting what I've done.
That's good. Accountability is always good.
All my clothes are where
I've changed behaviour afterwards is even better.
Everything to do with my flat, they've thrown everything away. So now I'm having to restart everything. From having everything to losing everything, it's so heartbreaking. Yes, it's my own fault. Yes, I shouldn't have done what I did. Yes, I was seeing red at the time, and when you see red, you just don't give an F. So now, obviously, I'm waiting to get a new property, hopefully.
This is Jasmine Red Bull.
And hopefully I can move on from this and become a better person. Yes, it has taught me a big lesson. Yes, I will never do it again. Yes, am I sorry? Yes. Do I regret it? Yes, I do regret it big time, like very, very big time. Am I going to sort my life out? Yes, I am going to sort my life out. I've stopped smoking, Mr. Green. I've stopped, you know what I mean. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. I'm getting a job. My sister's helping me for everything, and I mean everything, like, to do with everything. Like, my sister has been a rock. She's been there.
So far, I've heard them take so much accountability. I know that whatever's in the past that we're just picking up from here, I've not heard one excuse. Either I've zoned out and not heard it, so please let me know in the chat if I've missed an excuse. But so far, I've not heard one excuse. I've just heard them be accountable for their actions and say that they're going to change it. Obviously, actions speak louder than words, but the fact that we've not heard one excuse speaks volumes.
For me since day one. She's been helping me with everything. She's giving me clothes. She's getting me back up on my feet, basically. And if it wasn't for my sister, then God knows what I would be doing right now. But am I proud of what I've done? No. Whatsoever, no. Like, I am not proud whatsoever. Am I embarrassed? Yes, I'm very embarrassed. Do I regret being on TikTok Live when it all happened? Yes, I do regret being on TikTok Live when it all happened. Am I ever going to do it again? No. Have I learnt my lesson? Yes. So from this video now, guys, I won't be speaking about it. If you ask me questions, I'm going to totally in blank here. I want to move on from this now. Every single day I've been speaking about this. So now I've got this video done for you. I want to leave it as this and move on to...
And I think that is the best thing that somebody can do. It will be very difficult, but if you have made a mistake and done bad things and you are like, I've done something bad, then you have held up and taken full accountability and they have made no excuse for it. They now want to move on. Don't look back, just move forward. Hopefully that they can. I really, really hope they can. So I'm going to be watching because... One thing I find that, you know, sometimes creators then stop being problematic and people stop watching because they're not problematic. That would be a shame that we've seen somebody that's been a little bit crazy, a little bit problematic, and then we stop watching. I think it would be nice to watch somebody. The green one should take note. Maybe if the green one actually had faced accountability for their actions, it would make them. This person's obviously done something stupid, been kicked out, and maybe we don't know until we watch and see that having to, being arrested, going through that's made them wake up. The fact that the green one gets away with everything hasn't helped them really, has it? The fact that they get away with everything.
A new beginning.
So I'm really hopeful.
Yes, I'm sorry of everything what I've done. Yes, I'm very, very, very embarrassed, and I'm never going to do it again. Love you all to bits. Hope you understand.
So I'm going to keep an eye on this person's page. This is Jasmine Red Bull. Obviously, if anybody goes and has a look, you will see that they have been really crazy in the past. They've got by the sounds of it, really bad history. I was going to go and look at their past history and sort of cover things. Seeing them take full accountability of this situation and not mention one excuse. At the present moment in time, I'm not. I'm just going to follow the story from this point and see where we go. Now, if their behaviour goes back to being ridiculous, then we might go and dig into some old things. But at the moment, I would like to see them better themselves and see how it goes from there, because it's nice to not share complete negativity. And I'm not going to cover that video now because we've just seen someone take full accountability for their actions. There's something likeable about Jasmine, not so much with the others on the app. Since I've only just recently come across them, I did see across some antics, shall we say, that I actually thought was at least fun. But yeah, they deserve a fresh start. Everyone deserves a chance to grow, learn. It's not always easy for you to do that for yourself. It's not always easy for other people to let you do that. But let's watch and see. Yeah, obviously, guys, anyone new,
or order your medication if needed. Remember to stay hydrated and
Right. Speaking of the green one, it's time to cover the green one. Just a few videos for them. Now, this one, I haven't watched it, so let's be the judge. Let's be a little bit judgy. We can't help it, we're people, and people will be people. Alpha realises she said something transphobic, and so backtracks at the end. So let's have a vote. Do we think this is transphobic, what they've said?
Literally in a man with muscles and tattoos, and that's it. It's not much to ask, it's just... Most men have tattoos these days, do you know what I mean? So, who knows at this point? I mean, tattoos isn't always a necessity, like, it doesn't have to be a thing, but, oh yeah, I know trans men can have that, but I like men really masculine, and one that can look after me. Ooh. So if a trans man could do that to me, yes, I wouldn't say no.
I get what they said. I get what they said. Ooh. They did backtrack quite quickly. Yeah, that is discrimination. Is discrimination there? But it's not the only discriminational thing that they've said, is it? Because they did this as well. Call me Alfie, not Alpha, because that sounds masculine. And the reason why? Basically, Wolfie, they was trying to say that a trans man, so a woman that has transitioned into a man, wasn't man enough. Which is, they don't like it when a trans woman that's in their eyes transitioned into a woman isn't woman enough. Is the simplest analogy that I can give. So they basically being transphobic to trans men. Would that be an okay analogy to give? Obviously, it's not what I think; it's what they were saying. They think yeah, very freaking cheeky alphabet. You know what I mean? So, but then they'd also said this.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. I never know what you mean. It takes a few moments.
Queen Alpha. Stop. No, call me Alfie, not Alpha. That sounds masculine.
Why does it sound masculine, though, to you?
Alfie's cute.
Why is it cute?
Alfie, because it makes me sound small. So if you call me Alfie, it makes me sound small. I like that. So that's my preferred name, Alfie.
preferred name's fine. Preferred name's fine, I get it. But sort of like relating small to being feminine and large to being masculine. Like, come on. Like, yeah, I'm little. I'm only 5 foot, but there's lovely, tall, beautiful, feminine women. So feminine means small to alpha. Yeah, that's what I took from that. So trans men aren't masculine and feminine is small. Like, come on.
I got the tiniest bit of fucking makeup on the floor.
Did you see those nails? What is wrong with those nails? Is that a medical thing? Look at those nails.
Got the tiniest.
That can't be good. Are they bruised or because that's like in the middle of the nail? Is that bruising or that doesn't look healthy? Yeah, but that's right deep down in the middle. Is that staining from nail polish or that doesn't look healthy. Oh, it's leftover nail polish. Oh, okay. So, you can tell I don't do my nails,
the
can't you?
tiniest bit. Cleanable. It was a bit of eyeshadow. It wasn't even noticeable. It was like a tiny brown dot. I cleaned it. It wasn't big. It was like this, right? Like this. Seriously, right?
I believe you.
I know. And what happened was, I got a message. £1,000 damage for the carpet.
When did they go to a hotel? Is this an old video? Is this an old video?
You go see it. I said, girl, that's just makeup. That comes off. They weren't understanding of it. No, they weren't actually. They weren't that understanding, but you know, that's why I got to clean up extra careful here because you know I make sure. Clean whatever, you know. I'm going back to Bristol to visit Honey. Because Honey's amazing. Also, I've got some news to tell you soon, but I can't tell you yet. Because I know it's not fun. Can't tell you yet though, but I will say this: you're in for a treat. You're in for a major treat.
Okay, so all I've learnt from that is we're assuming it's bruises, and I don't know what we'll call bruises at that part of the nails, and they damage property, which we knew anyway. He wants a man with muscles and tattoos, don't we all? Don't we? Well, I don't like muscles, but each to their own, each to their own.